Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers Lore. Today we're going to be talking about none other than the Green Samurai Ranger, or the Green Solar Samurai Ranger, Cameron Wanatabe. So I'm back after a few weeks. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had a very difficult move-in and then running around and getting everything done, and then work got crazy. So, time to back at this and begin again. Now, I'll give you a new ranger that we're going to be talking about, none other than Cameron Wanatabe from Power Rangers Ninjastorm. Now, he is a very interesting character, to say the least. Basically going from the Alpha 5 type character arc to eventually a ranger himself, and going on from there. We get to see family connections that we've never seen before and talk about time travel slightly. Now, let's get on to it. Who is Cam? Well, Cam, or Cameron Wanatabe, he is the Alpha 5 of the character group of the Rangers. He's there for the tech support. He is there to help them out in any way they can, basically building the Zords, hacking the Zords, figuring out basically how they can bind and work together, and then later on he is full on there to help out in any means possible. However, that does not mean he is a really nice guy sometimes. When we first meet him, he is very cynical, sarcastic, and basically looks at the Rangers that survived the attack on the Wind Ninja Academy and goes, "These guys are losers." And in truth, compared to all the other students, they kind of were the losers of the whole entire group. They were failing their tests, and the only reason they weren't there at the Wind Ninja Academy is because they kind of failed on many levels and kind of took a break and were away at the time. So when he sees these guys come stumbling in after the Wind Ninja Academy was taken away by Lothar and his crew, and his father was turned into a guinea pig who can speak, he didn't see much of a hope going on there. Well, as time went on, he found that these guys, they are have some skill and have some promise. Now, Shane, Dustin, and Tori basically are all taken down to his high-tech underground dojo that he had to keep away from, the top side of the Wind Ninja Academy, because he wasn't allowed to officially practice and become a ninja himself. And that's because of a promise that his father, Sensei, had to, his name isn't Sensei, but we're just going to call him Sensei because I'm really bad at pronouncing names, promised his mom that he would never be thrown in that position to become a ninja because it's far too dangerous of a lifestyle. Now, that being said, if only she knew. So Lothar kidnaps all the other students, and he's left with these, and the Ranger team is just left with 3 different students who are not quite up to date, and Cam is forced to basically give them Zords, kind of construct power spears, other weapons for the Rangers to use in battle, and most of the time they don't know how to use them, and he has to give them a sarcastic response. He even comes up with the names half the time for their Zords. Now, when his father is captured by none other than the Thunder Rangers, who didn't understand that Lothar was the bad guy, Cam creates a powerful force field to protect his father and buy the Rangers time to find him. Really smart, creating a force field around a guy who is the size of a guinea pig, and then making sure it stays stable the entire time. It's pretty intelligent there, especially with him doing a snap of fingers. Now, after the brothers eventually join the team after their spell, and it wasn't really a spell at first, but once they were convinced out of the trick that Lothar gave them, and then out of the spell and poisoning that was done to them, he finds out that their Zords can also merge with the other Zords of the Rangers themselves to combine the Storm Zords with the Thunder Megazords, creating a whole new Zord for them to fight against the forces of evil. Now, he is still troubled by his father's stubbornness because he completely refuses them to be a Ranger himself. He can't become a ninja, quote unquote, because, he's just not ready. What's the excuse he keeps giving them? Shane, Dustin, and Hunter, and all of them, and Blake go, he's just a student. He can't do anything. He's not even a student, reality-wise. He's just our mentor. He just creates our weapons, whatever. Well, he does something that they're not able to do with ease. Tori kind of backs up and laughs in their faces, and they go, what's going on here? Well, that's when they find out that his father is stubbornly refusing to allow Cam to become a ninja. Now here's where things get very interesting, because while he is promised not to be trained in the ninja arts, even though he kind of taught himself by watching through cameras and just doing so, he has a little bit of a loophole, and we're going to get right into that. So when the Rangers lose their powers temporarily and no one's there to be able to defend, well, the city and the world from Lothar's forces, well, his father has an idea and tells him the full extent of why he made sure that Cam could not become a ninja, because of his mother. His mother's dying wish: don't let him become a ninja because it's a dangerous lifestyle. Now, he's still conflicted with this promise, but that loophole comes in. He's like, well, you can't become a ninja, but there's another power you can seek, Cam, that could help us restore the Ranger powers, and, well, you might be able to become far more useful than you ever thought before. And he gives him the Scroll of Time, which was apparently forbidden ninja art, but if it's need to be used, it needs to be used. And he uses it to travel to the past, which freezes the present at the time the Rangers are about to be destroyed, and it freezes everything while he goes back in the past. Now, once in the past, he immediately encounters a very pushy version of his father, who is much younger, about his age, and is ambushed by him immediately. Cam, when he figures this out, figures who he is, and starts laughing and goes, wow, you were even pushy back then. Well, great, I'm glad to see things hadn't changed that much. Now, when he's taken before the sensei of the time of the Wind Ninja Academy, well, he's allowed to enroll in the Ninja Academy for a short period of time. That is also when a big revelation for Cam, he finds out that his father has a twin brother, Kaya. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I am really bad with names, so remember that. Now, he was really surprised by this because his father never brought up the younger brother, and why would he keep it a secret if he did? Unless it's a too painful memory, but what's going on here? There's something more, and why would his father not warn him about this in the beginning? Now, the shocking moments don't just end there. He starts talking to his uncle, and sees that his father is facing up to this new mysterious samurai to demonstrate the swordsman skills. Who's superior, a ninja or a samurai? Well, it's quickly revealed that, well, a ninja is not as skilled as a samurai, and his father is easily beaten. And that is when the sensei of the Wind Ninja Academy reveals none other than that this samurai is a female, and also Cam's mother, Miko. Now, after defeating his father, she becomes the first female student to enroll the Wind Ninja Academy, allowing for eventually Tori to join in as about 20 to 30 years later. She's able to join up too, and a few other female rangers. Now, upon realizing that it's his mother and he never got to have any real connection because she died really early, he becomes fast friends with her and, well, learns more about her past. She says basically that his mother's decision would change if she saw him now as a grown adult, meaning that eventually, hey, if she could see you now, you could take care of yourself. Which is ironic because, well, she didn't. Hint, hint, hint. But whatever. Now, after basically talking for a little bit, he spies something around her neck, a green amulet with quote-unquote special powers, or connection to the morphing grid, as per se. And he suspects quickly that this was the power that his father told him to retrieve, but doesn't go too much into it, when an ominous shadow is watching from the distance. Now, things happen, and, well, suddenly, when she is alone, she is attacked by a mysterious figure that looks very similar to Cam, wearing very similar clothing, and Miko confronts the thief and has a long issue where her amulet is stolen, and she runs back to Cam, blaming Cam for this. Now, Cam is about to have his judgment carried out when his father shows back up. The young version of his father, mind you, arrives and claims that Cam is innocent and throws his brother before the sensei, revealing his brother had been practicing dark ninja arts. Now is when his uncle, Cam's uncle, Kaya, uses his dark powers to attempt to escape and grab the amulet one final chance. And that's when the amulet shifts suddenly in the air and lands in none other than the hands of Cam. kind of surprising everybody, and Cam goes, oh, I don't know what to do. But he doesn't have long to figure out because he's quickly attacked by Kaya when they grab 2 wooden practice swords and duel in a one-on-one battle to the death. Quote-unquote death. You know, it's Power Rangers. Now, in the end, Cam emerges the victor and is able to defeat Kaya, but only through the power of the amulet augmenting his strength in order to counter the dark power that Kaya was using. Now, Cam also witnesses Kaya's banishment from the academy and goes, no, stop him. I figured out what's going on here. Because Kaya reveals he no longer goes by the name of Kaya. He takes the name of Lothor, and he forswears his entire family. Cam goes, no, stop. Kill him. Imprison him. Don't banish him. He's just going to come back. In a very, this is a very Futurama-esque reveal. We'll worry about the future. Now, basically, what he really states is, we are more concerned about the sins he's going to commit in the present, not the future that we cannot see. Cam's going, no, we can see it. I've seen it. He's a terrible warlord. We'll just kill him now. It'll be great. Instead, they just banish him to space, never to be seen again for at least 20 to 30 years. Now, before anything else can quickly be explained, the time scroll opens up and takes him away once more. Now, he tries to hand the amulet back to his mother, but she goes, no, you are the rightful owner, and I know now why my family brought it here, to give it to you. And he's going, thanks. And it's a really touching moment for him to see his mother one last time before he's forced to go away. And the only real reason that she kind of sees it is because he's unleashed the full power of the amulet itself. And when he returns back to the present, he morphs into the Green Samurai Ranger. I don't know why he waited till then. He could have done it earlier. I don't know, or how he knew immediately how to do it. But you know what? The morphing grid explains now with the current comics that once you're connected to the item and the morphing grid, it explains itself how to use its power. Now, when he returns, he quickly helps fight the forces of evil. That is Lothor, and he's still shocked, by the way, that his uncle is Lothor, and it kind of throws him off for a little bit loop because he quickly realizes, hey, those 2 dopey girls that are kind of idiots, they're my cousins apparently. By how, I don't know, but that's weird. Now, so as a ranger, he cannot be in the ops center to help and give information here and there, so he creates a virtual hologram duplicate of himself called CyberCam. Now, which is kind of weird that you'd make another version of yourself, instead of who's the greatest person to run this thing? Me, but I can't be because I'm a ranger, so I'm just gonna make another version of me so I get double credit. And instead of calling him something else, I'm gonna call him CyberCam. It's a little conceited. I'm gonna say that now. You can definitely tell he's on a hubris level. He's going, yeah, I'm so prideful. I'm a ranger and I created all your weapons. What are you gonna do? Stop me? Yeah, right. Now CyberCam takes over the day-to-day running of the dojo and maintenance of the equipment, and basically pushing the buttons to go, hey, sending the Zords in, doing all this stuff, we got you. However, CyberCam is different. He's very yo version of Alpha 5 when there's a sudden change and they go, why is he speaking like that? Well, because it's CyberCam apparently, and it's basically to show the difference if people ever get confused. Why is there 2 cams? Oh, that's CyberCam. You can tell by all the yos he's saying, bro. Yeah. And he's also apparently high skilled in extreme sports. I don't know why that word you got in the program and go, hey, let me just type all this stuff in. Oh yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I wasn't that well because I had to stay at my dad's Ninja Academy. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add extreme sports. Yeah, I'm really good at soccer. And he wrote a fan fiction about himself, guys. He basically wrote a fan fiction, but made into a robot. It's weird. Now, when Lothor is finally defeated, Cam once again becomes the advisor to the Wind Ninja Academy, but actually being able to help and instruct their duties completely rather than just watching from afar and not really able to participate. Now he's also able to watch over his cousins and kind of go from there, who have turned good after basically almost being killed multiple times and realizing they're really underappreciated. Now he would appear again in none other than Dino Thunder, when at first he's shown in the Power Rangers history compiled by none other than Tommy Oliver, who goes over all the different Rangers and just revealed that he's the Green Ranger for this time. woo, and goes on from there. Now he would basically make another appearance after regaining his samurai powers after dropping down into the well of evil to retrieve all the powers, and he fights against the forces of evil rangers that have been corrupted by, well, Lothar, who tricked the original three, Shane, Tori, and Dustin, into being evil rangers. After tricking them, he frees them from the spell and, well, does battle against the forces of Lothar and Mazagog. After time goes on, well, he loses his powers again, this time permanently because it was only limited time use. Now, his ranger form would appear once more in Super Megaforce when Orion, an alien who came across the Silver Ranger key, and a morpher got visions of multiple Six Rangers while touching said morpher. He's able to call upon the powers of the Sixth Ranger, including Cam and, well, all our favorites, in order to create the Super Megaforce Gold Key. Now, he would use those powers to fight against the forces of the Armada in the final battle, but that is when Cam would return in the legendary battle itself, along with his fellow Ninja Rangers, and, well, fight against the forces of darkness in his Ranger form. How he was able to be restored, I don't know. It's never really explained, and I'm kind of upset by that. I hope it's a time scroll thing. That's the only thing I can say, but they're not going to give us anything. Now, he would also appear in the Shattered Grid series after basically Zordon calls out through all the morphing grid and fight against the forces of Lord Draken. He would even go on a mission after the Beyond the Grid to help fight, well, against the forces of a crazed, mysterious, well, evil praetor of none other. Now we're going to be talking about the theory part of this part of the episode, and this one has a special theory part because, well, very interesting lineage could be attributed here. Now, we know a few things, and that there is the Ninjastorm and there is a Samurai season. Now, Power Rangers Samurai and Power Rangers Ninjastorm seem not to have any connection whatsoever, besides the fact that there is a Samurai inside of Ninjastorm. And that's kind of it. Well, there's actually a few more. Now, if you know, Cameron's last name is Wanatabe, which is also Mia's last name, Mia Wanatabe. Now, she's the Pink Ranger, and it could be that they are related by some type of connection at some point. Some part of their family splintered off and joined the Ninja Academy. It's never fully explained how, why, or when, but it is a possible theory that could have been. I could just be grasping straws like, well, they just could have the same last name. They could have no family at all, connections at all. And it's true, they could be. But it's pretty interesting here because they're pretty similar designs going on here, and I'll explain more of this theory. Now, Miko has no last name besides the name that she assumes later on when she marries Sensei. Now, as that, I looked hardcore, there is no other, well, name. I looked, it's just Miko, that's it, literally Miko. Now, she could have been part of another samurai family, and I'm going to explain this. Well, the Samurai Rangers came like 10 to 20 years after Ninjastorm came out, but it's explained in Samurai itself in the first couple episodes. They are like the 17th or 18th generation of Rangers to defend against the forces of the Nylok. That's like a big step. That's like several hundred years. If you think about the average life of people in the 20th century is about between 60 to 80 years, and they could become a ranger they stopped probably being a ranger around 40 because Jaden's dad was kind of older. He wasn't a teenager with attitude, to say that. It could have been continue up from there. It's hard to explain everything, but that's the idea. Now, Miko could have been from none other than Mike's family because, well, think of him, well, it's going to be complicated. So they could, because they are both green samurai rangers. Now, there's an amulet that's created to make its own different appearance from the other samurai rangers, but they have very similar features in the sense that they both use power discs. And you're probably asking, well, why does it look so different? Well, Antonio looks very different from them as well. He has kind of similar features to that of the Green Samurai Ranger, if you will look very carefully. Antonio and Cam both hold their sheaths in their left hand, and the same kind of way, as well as Cam and him have the blade in the right hand, waiting to use in a special type of arc as well. There is might be just a style-like similarity, but it's there as well. Now, we do know that the morphing grid does not allow, essentially, for the same suits to keep going over and over again. You can't have a bunch of the same people constantly using the same suit as a Green Samurai. You can't have 2 red morphing rangers you can have for a small amount of time, but you can't keep doing it. Either hurts the person or it just drains too much on the ranger and it spends too much of the energy at one given time. That's why Jaden could not be the Red Ranger while Lauren was, or Lauren could not be while Jaden was. It was just too complicated. They didn't flat out say that, but it's kind of very hidden that way, and early in the season of Mighty Morphin, it's kind of explained what they do with transfer of powers, like, hey, you gotta transfer this over, because, well, you can't just do that. It's usually tied to the DNA in some fashion, and it has to do with other things going on there. Now, that Cameron's Samurai Green Ranger powers could have been an offshoot of that. Like, it's the same family line, but we're going to store this amulet, and it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same type of thing. It could be like a secret weapon of sorts, but nobody could free it. Kind of like the black box. It was one of those little secret projects they had, but nobody could free it or access it, or nobody was chosen specifically to use this power until, well, the Morphin Grid chose its own wielder, and that'd be for Cam. Now, this is just a theory, but it could be that. Now, this could mean that Mia and Cameron are related in some fashion. They could have been a splinter group that splintered off and left to go do other things, to learn other abilities, such as the ninja academies, and learning how to fight Nalox that way. Because in truth, the Ninja Academy didn't have a threat to deal with until Lothar became, well, evil space warlord ninja man. So think about that. It could have been like, oh, well, we can help in the fight against the Nilox or any other bad guys per se. There isn't really a reason why you would teach all these kids how to use special ninja training arts unless they were going to fight a war or something. Who knows? That's just a theory there. Now, what do you guys think? Is there a possibility that anything could be happening there? What is your opinions on this entire episode? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys, and may the power protect you always.